Ukraine is waging a silent war inside. Russia's energy backbone, a relentless drone campaign that has shut down refineries, triggered a nationwide fuel shortage, and forced Moscow into a corner. In recent months, Ukraine has escalated its drone strikes deep into Russian territory, targeting refineries, fuel depots, pipelines, and storage facilities. The goal: to strangle Russia's wartime economy at its core. As of late September 2025, roughly 38% of Russia's primary oil refining capacity is offline. That's about 338,000 tons per day of crude throughput lost. The output of gasoline and diesel has plunged by about 6% in August, then another 18% in September, creating a supply shortfall close to 20% of national demand. Why drill into oil refineries? Because fuel is the lifeblood of any war effort, powering tanks, trucks, aircraft, logistics convoys, and everything in between. For Russia, oil and gas exports remain vital for revenue, especially under sanctions. Disruptions to refining, distribution, and export pipelines strike at both the military machine and the country's ability to sustain itself. Financially, Western sanctions already limit Moscow's access to replacement parts and modern equipment. So repairing or replacing damaged refinery units is not just expensive, it's slow, difficult, and often impossible. Under current constraints, the impact is already being felt across Russia. Regions from the Far East to Nizhny Novgorod, even Crimea, are reporting acute fuel shortages, lines at gas stations, and rising prices. In Crimea, authorities have responded by freezing fuel prices and limiting purchases. Motorists can buy no more than 30 liters per trip. Moscow has also imposed a ban on gasoline exports to guard domestic supply and is reducing import duties to ease pressure. But these are short-term patches. The manufacturing of vehicles, generators, heating systems, and military fuel logistics depend on continuity, something that's fraying fast. Moscow is scrambling for solutions. One is turning to Belarus to import more fuel, even under strained logistics and amid Western scrutiny. But Belarus is not a silver bullet. Its own capacity is limited. Transporting fuel over long distances under wartime conditions is expensive, risky, and slow. Meanwhile, Russian officials say they're increasing efforts to harden refineries with better defenses, jamming systems, and counter-drone measures. But such upgrades are costly and often reactive rather than preventive. In public, the Kremlin maintains confidence, but internal assessments reportedly warn that the crisis could undermine war operations, especially logistics, fuel supply chains, and frontline mobility. Ukraine's campaign is sometimes called kinetic sanctions, a way to impose costs beyond economic embargoes through direct physical disruption. This approach forces Russia to choose between diverting resources to defend or repair its energy assets or risk losing its war-fighting capabilities. Altogether, Washington and Western allies are reportedly stepping up intelligence sharing, possibly helping Ukraine target long-range energy infrastructure inside Russia. As Moscow's oil-related revenue weakens, the fiscal burden of war intensifies. The Kremlin may have to choose between funding bombs or supporting state pensions, social programs, and public services. In effect, Ukraine is making its battlefield not just in trenches, but in Russia's heating, power plants, fuel depots, hitting everyday life and logistics alike. Of course, this approach carries risk. Escalation is a real danger. Russia might retaliate harder, open new fronts, or target Ukrainian infrastructure more destructively. Russia may also retaliate diplomatically, trying to compel third parties to block fuel imports, or using proxies to strike Ukrainian energy infrastructure. Another uncertainty: how long can Ukraine sustain this campaign? Drone attrition, logistics, resupply, countermeasures all pose long-term challenges. Ukraine's drone campaign is reshaping the battlefield from the inside out. By targeting Russia's oil network, Kyiv is challenging the conventional logic of war, hitting the enemy's arteries rather than just striking front lines. The success of this strategy will depend on Ukraine's ability to sustain it. the level of Western support, and how Russia adapts. If it holds, it could become a turning point in how future conflicts are fought. If you found this video useful, please like, subscribe, and share it so more people can follow what's happening. Hit the bell icon to get notified about our next deep dive. Thank you for watching, and stay curious.